Hey guys, it's John from Album Review TV. Time for a review of the debut LP, The Bones of What You Believe by electro-pop band Chvrches. Chvrches have been making waves since their EP was released, and songs like Gun it got a lot of critical success and people really started catching on to this group. I did as well, but for me the song that did it was The Mother We Share. We'll get into that in a minute, but Chvrches just take a lot of kind of 80s sounds and combine them with these modern twists. There's so much just electronic based. Pretty much everything sounds electronic based, but they also have those 80 elements like I was talking about from the 80s, those boom, 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 boom style drums that just kind of pound in the background, but they sound airy. Many of these songs just feel like synth galore, like over the top sometimes, like it's a little too much, but a lot of times they get it just right. And we're going to go ahead and go through this thing track by track. The first song I want to talk about is my overall favorite. It's called The Mother We Share, and honestly this is my favorite song of the year up to this point. Nothing has even come close to this song since I heard it a few months ago, and compared to anything else I'd heard at any other point in the year, The Mother We Share just blows it out of the water. I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. For me, the song is absolutely flawless. Not one thing I would change about it. From the echoed to the perfectly timed drum hits and Lauren Mayberry's, that is, angelic vocals, to the well-written lyrics, nice balance and pacing throughout. The song slows down a little bit after the second chorus, gets even more raw and personal when she's talking about, and it all fucks up. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like the whole thing is like a story of someone just kind of trying out something new and going through life, messing up, maybe not getting it right, and then coming back and just putting your head on someone's shoulder and just needing someone to be there for you. Like I said, everything on that song just hits perfectly and I absolutely love it. Tether reminds me a whole lot of Purity Ring on the first half of the track. It's hard for me not to compare the two groups at a lot of points in this debut album, sadly. Also, is it just me, or do some of those ambient background sounds remind you of the American Horror Story opening sequence? No, is that just me? Listen and compare, and I think you might hear it. I don't think I'm crazy. The synths then build up later in the song and get huge. It sounds absolutely powerful and phenomenal as they loop and they continue to grow throughout this track. The vocals come back in, the song grows so much stronger, and with that nice synth loop backing it, the vocals get that much more powerful too, with something to fuel them. The drums on this track sound very 80s influenced once again, like I mentioned, closing out the song on the synth with everything else just stripped away. Very smart move. We Sync keeps that electronic energy flowing on the album with a barrage of upbeat synths over Lauren's steady but confident vocals as she sings lines like, "I'll be a thorn in your side till you die." The clap and synth build-ups complete this track, making another one of the standouts on the record. The song goes out on an attack of synths and then a noisy fade out, which I like. Gun and Mother were actually the first two songs I heard by Chvrches, and Gun, it really didn't catch my ear too much at first, but it's one that I feel like you have to listen to more and more before you really start to get into it. I have burned your bridges, I will be a gun, and it's you I'll come for. Clever. I like the way that line was written, aka the main point of the chorus basically right there. Lauren's vocals really hit some high notes later in this song, and it's especially noticeable when the synths momentarily fade out and it's just focusing on her voice. On this track in particular, the vocal samples just are really big. Once again, that's something that Chvrches are big on, like just distorted vocals and just manipulating them and having the volume in the background throughout the track, and I really like the way it sounds on Gun. Now there are tracks that I don't enjoy as much. By the Throat, it's got more of that build up an 80s modern crossover action going on, but it only presents itself as kind of a mediocre quality track to me personally, and it has grown on me the more times I've listened to it, but I don't see it being a long-lasting favorite. Under the Tide is led by one of the male singers in the group. There's 3 members in this group, and he does the vocals, and honestly it doesn't really do much for me. Lauren Mayberry has such a unique voice, and when hearing a male singer that sounds no different than many other singers in the genre or just in general, then this track doesn't do anything to really stand out for me because the vocals are often the highlight of many of these tracks. And on Under the Tide, I can't say that I enjoy anything other than like some of the music. It doesn't do anything amazing music-wise or vocal-wise, so we found our first sleeper on the record right there. I'd say skip it. Lungs is a track that's not incredibly interesting to me vocally or lyrically, but musically, I'm really getting into this song. It stands out from a lot of the others on this record, The Bones of What You Believe. I almost expected a huge dubstep style breakdown somewhere in this song because of kind of the wub-wub action that was almost going on at some points in the song, but I thought it was kind of cool. So Lungs is definitely one that I am enjoying, and the male backing vocals on this track in particular truly work and add something to the track. Go big or go home, right? Recover is a song that can get to you after a few listens and not necessarily in a good way. The beginning of the song fails to gain momentum and start properly and gain my attention. It just kind of annoys me a little bit, but when the chorus finally does take off, things start moving along and sounding nicely. The claps, programmed drums that kick in before the second verse, it really helps the song gain that momentum it really needed and starts to make a name for itself, a unique identity. There are aspects of the track that I don't particularly enjoy, but I do really like the majority of this tune right here. Lauren's giving you one more chance to change your old ways, but she knows you don't need her. I really like the way the chorus was written, and you can almost hear the sadness sprinkled with a glimmer of hope in there on this track. The moment when you know giving someone another chance won't really work, but you give it anyways out of hope that things will one day return to the way they were. Very insightful track, and I like this one a whole lot. Lies sees the return of the vocal distortion and manipulation, played nicely around Lauren's lead vocals. The song sounds a little bit darker, and rightfully so considering the song's subject matter. Maybe Chvrches aren't doing anything groundbreaking lyrically, but for what they lack in that department, they make up for in originality with their synths and programming galore. Modern bands have to find ways to reinvigorate and reinvent the music scene, and I personally think groups like Chvrches, the 1975, are really doing it right. Save rock and roll. Oh, wait, that's Fall Out Boy. You Caught the Light is another skipper for me, leaving the album on a bit of a dull note. It's pretty cool musically, but it could use some spicing up. Overall, this album is by no means perfect or fully engaging, but it does have a lot of great moments that promise a bright future for Chvrches. The Bones of What You Believe is a 4 out of 5 from me, with a moderate replay factor. I feel like there's some tracks that you're going to be revisiting, but for me personally, there's probably only like a handful that I'm really going to keep coming back to over the years. But I definitely think they did a good job turning out their debut album. And for all the people hating on the artwork, what? I've seen so much worse artwork. You guys hated on me whenever I hated on 30 Seconds to Mars, most recent album cover, and now it's okay for you guys to hate on the Chvrches artwork. It's not that bad at all. It's a little simple, sure, but anyways, let me know what you guys thought of the Chvrches debut record in the comment section down below, and leave requests. There's a lot of album reviews on the way, so make sure you subscribe and share the video with a friend, give it a like, and I will see you guys very soon right here on Album Review TV.